back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited that you are here, and I hope that you are having an absolutely fantastic morning, afternoon, or night, whatever it is for you when this video finally reaches you. Today's video is going to be an eerie and, no pun intended, dark video because we are once again diving into the dark web and yet another disturbing dark web experience. Now, we've dove into the dark web here multiple times on my channel from the very beginning, where we talked about what the dark web is, the truth about it, etc., and then diving into other parts of the dark web that are very unsettling. But today's video is yet another experience, and this one's creepy. So definitely sit back, relax, and maybe turn a light on because this video is going to be spooky. But speaking of the dark web, before we continue on with today's video, I am so excited to share today's video sponsor with you guys, Aura. So I'm not sure if you know this, but identity theft is so common that there is a new victim every 14 seconds, and you never know if you could be next. Aura is an app to protect your data from hackers, spammers, and scammers. Honest to goodness, if you are not currently doing anything to protect yourself, I highly recommend that you try Aura. Aura continuously monitors the dark web looking for your emails, your passwords, your social security numbers, and sends alerts fast to your phone or email when they find anything. Aura also gives near real-time alerts on suspicious credit card inquiries, like if someone was opening a loan or a credit card in your name, which is definitely something you want to be made aware of. Even better, Aura automatically sends requests on your behalf to data brokers to basically remove your information, therefore helping to reduce the amount of spam you receive, which is incredible. Aura also has a VPN that allows you to stay completely anonymous, keeping your browsing history and personal information safe and encrypted. And their antivirus software blocks viruses and malware before they're able to infect your devices. Honestly, you guys, you can protect your family and yourself from identity theft when you head to aura.com/Reese. I will have it linked at the very top of my description for your convenience. And if you sign up now with my link, as mentioned, will be at the very top of my description box. Aura will give you a 2-week free trial so you can see how many times Aura finds you or your family members' personal information on the dark web, which is terrifying. So make sure you head to aura.com/Hailey Reese to protect yourself and your family members against identity theft. Again, it will be linked at the very top of my description. And thank you so much to Aura for sponsoring today's video. But without further ado, let's get into a dark web horror story that didn't go so well. Here we go. I've always been interested in the dark web. Something about the unknown element to it and the stories I heard made me want to see it for myself. I would spend hours online watching dark web videos, people sharing horror stories of what they saw or unboxing those mystery boxes they bought online. Remember those days? I would watch video after video, read more Reddit than you could imagine, and with every crazy experience I learned about, I just wanted to know more. I guess I mostly just wanted to know if it was as crazy as everyone said it was. Were there really those messed up rooms filled with psychopaths and torture? Were people really selling people's identities? What would I find if I looked long enough? I know I sound like there's something wrong with me, but my mind couldn't stop wandering. I needed to know more. Part of me thinks this stems from my childhood, you know. I was the kid who always had to push things even to my own fault. If you told me not to touch fire, I would do it just to see what it feels like to burn. If you told me I couldn't open a door, you best believe I would. I'm an inquisitive mind, and even if I try, I can't silence those thoughts. As I was saying, I was fascinated by the dark web. Unfortunately for me though, I still lived at home at the peak of this obsession. I also didn't have a laptop of my own, just the family desktop. I had done so much research on how to access the dark web, should you desire to, and knew my parents wouldn't be keen on me using Tor. So I decided I'd live through the people I saw and read about online. A couple of years went by though, and I was moving out for the first time to college. I'd settled on dorm life and was really looking forward to my newfound freedom. Of course, among many things I needed for school was a laptop, and I'm sure you can see where this is going. Trust me though, this goes way deeper and darker than you could imagine. School really kicked my butt for the first bit. I didn't really have time to do anything other than figure out my new schedule and study. I'd never left home before, so this was all new to me. I was overwhelmed to say the least, but looking back now, I wish I'd had kept my boring school life and never have gotten curious again. A few months into school, I had gotten myself a girlfriend. Jules was a quiet girl who made me happy. It was new and fresh, but I saw potential, and that was something I'd never seen with someone else before. My schooling was going well, my girlfriend was beautiful, and life felt great. Little did I know how bad it would all get. I remember it was a Friday night, and there was a party happening. This wasn't unusual for us. Jules and I got there around 9, and point blank, things got pretty wild. I stumbled back to my room around 2 a.m., hiccuping and spinning. I drank some water and tried to get some rest, but quickly realized that sitting down only made things worse for me. I decided to get up until this buzz wore down, so I walked to my desk and opened my laptop. Immediately, I went to YouTube and started looking through some videos. Sure enough, there was a new video about the dark web. I decided to click on it and see what it was all about, and quickly found myself down that rabbit hole again. Curiosity came back even stronger this time. I don't know if it was the liquid courage, but I decided to do what I had to access the dark web. At first, I didn't see anything too jarring. Mostly people selling things you can't just go to the store for, if you know what I mean, but I wasn't seeing these awful rooms that everyone was always talking about. I browsed for an hour or two, and when I started to get tired, I decided to close my laptop and call it a night. Figured I'd try again some other day. A couple of weeks went by, and I hadn't dug deeper on the dark web yet. I honestly didn't remember much from the night I first went through it, but I remembered being disappointed. It wasn't until I was under the weather that I decided to give it another go. I opened my laptop and set the vibe in my room. By vibe, I mean dorm lights off, LED lights on, almost like what you'd expect from a gamer. I started searching and digging, and again at first, didn't see much. But before I knew it, I found myself clicking on a link to a chat room. There was a lot of conversation in this chat that made no sense to me at all. It was as though they were speaking English, but yet an entirely different language. It started to seem like it was almost some sort of auction, or somewhere where people were placing bets or orders. It quickly became clear who was running the chat though, and making the connections, if I can even call it that. There was a lot of back and forth, but I didn't once contribute to the conversation. I was mostly just confused. But suddenly, the entire chat went quiet. I sat there staring at my screen in confusion. I was about to click out when the leader of the conversation sent only a link. I sat there confused because I didn't even know what this link was that I was on right now to begin with. I debated whether or not I should even click it, but in typical Will fashion, I knew I had to go the step further. So I clicked it. Biggest mistake of my life. I honestly can't even tell you what I saw. But just know that I've never ran to the bathroom faster in my life. I didn't even exit the screen. I flushed my lunch and splashed water all over my face. You'd think I'd been prepared for the worst given my obsession, but it's one thing to hear about it and another to see it. I tried to gather my breath and run back to my computer to exit out of what I'd seen and delete anything associated with the dark web. When I returned to my chair, I exited the screen and picked up my phone. I wanted to call the police, but I didn't even know where to start. I didn't have the link anymore. I didn't know how to explain. I started pacing my room and sweating when I heard a strange noise from my computer. I walked over to my computer and felt the blood drain from me. I was in some sort of chat. My computer kept dinging and dinging each time with a new image or message. I felt like I was going to be sick all over again. The first message read, "I wouldn't do that," and began to send my full name, my school, my girlfriend's name, my picture. Whoever this was knew everything about me. How could I have been so stupid to have not used a VPN? I panicked. I walked over to the computer and all I could ask was who they were and how the hell they knew who I was. They didn't answer, but they did continue to send more. My parents' names, their address, my sister. I felt sick to my stomach. I couldn't believe this was actually real. All those years I'd watched those videos as entertainment, and now it was my own living hell. I went to exit the chat when I got one last message. "One last thing," it said, and another link appeared. I was terrified to click it, but again felt I had to. I took a deep breath and finally clicked the link. I felt like I was going to pass out. It was videos of me in my dorm. At this point, I actually had tears streaming down my face. All I had done was click the link. I didn't participate. I didn't threaten. Who the hell was this person? How is this real? I still don't even believe it to this day. I deleted everything off my laptop and wiped it completely clean. I didn't sleep at all that night. Absolutely terrified. Not only by what I had seen, but that I felt like a sitting duck ready to be taken out. I never told anyone what I had seen, what had happened, or that I had even been on the dark web, and never watched another dark web video ever again. Enough time has passed that I feel I can at least warn others about my experience. You hear about things online, but you never think it could really happen to you. I don't know. It's so messed up. The world has some sick people. So yeah, that's my experience. Even as I'm writing this, I realize how crazy it sounds, but it was crazy. Honestly, looking back, I was crazy. And that's the end of that experience. So I even recently just saw a TikTok of a girl saying that she went onto the dark web just out of curiosity and that she ended up searching herself on the dark web, and a bunch of photos of herself that she hadn't even known that she'd taken, almost as if they were from like her phone camera or her laptop camera, etc., were all plastered underneath her name. And I've heard of so many other instances where people go on the dark web blindly. They don't realize the depths of it, no pun intended, and they end up having their identity retrieved by other people. It is so freaking creepy, and I'm so curious to hear what you guys think of this particular experience. If you had to guess, what do you think this person's intentions were by threatening him? Was it to keep him quiet? What do you feel about the experience? Do you think that it is true? Let me know down in the comment section below. And that is it for today's video. Once again, you can protect yourself and your family from identity theft by heading to aura.com/Reese. Again, it will be linked at the very top of my description. And as I mentioned, if you do sign up now using my link, Aura will give you a free 2-week trial so you can see how many times Aura finds yours or your family members' personal information on the dark web. And thank you so much to Aura for sponsoring today's video. If you guys are new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed but you enjoy my content, I would seriously love it if you would go ahead and click that subscribe button. And please give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness. And until next time, I love you.